the Grand Plaza. This is a landmark that has made an impact in a variety of different decks in this format. And honestly, I really like what this card has done for the game in general. This card has made a ton of champions that previously struggled to be competitive. Notably, both Hecarim and Garen are champions that previously didn't really appear in any powerful decks that Grand Plaza has changed that for. And I'm hoping that Grand Plaza can do that with another champion here today. So, Katarina here is a 3-2 with quick attack for 3, that when she strikes, she recalls herself and then levels up. And then her leveled mode says, on play, rally, strike, recall me. So normally, Katarina's drawback is that she doesn't allow you to spend mana to play to the board because your opponent can just take the hit and then she comes back to your hand. But when we pair her with Grand Plaza, that changes, right? So every time Cat comes into play, she's going to gain Challenger and 1/1. So Cat with Grand Plaza basically becomes a repeated piece of removal for us. So just like 4 mana, kill your thing with 5 toughness or less again and again and again. The rest of this deck is just kind of good Noxious and Demacia cards. So we've got other cards that synergize well with Plaza, such as Grizzled Ranger and Radiant Guardian. I've got some cheaper things on my curve, like House Spider, for instance, is also kind of sweet with Plaza because it comes down with 2 bodies and can attack in and hook a couple of things. We've got some cheaper units here that are just good Demacia units, staples like Sharp Sight and Single Combat. And then for the second champion in this deck, I've elected to play Riven. I think there's a number of other secondary champions you could play in this deck. You could try Garen or whatnot, but I've really been impressed with Riven in terms of what she offers for 3 mana. Her Blade of Exile is also very reasonable at allowing us to push damage, and then some Captain Farron at the top end of the curve to end the game. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. You could rally multiple times a turn. So if you have 8 mana, you could play Cat twice and hit twice. Yeah, Draven could be an okay second champion for this deck as well. We don't really have any discard synergies for his axes is a concern though. I'm gonna full mulligan looking for our deck's namesake in Plaza. Nailed it. Is Cat the only champion that her level up is increased in mana cost? I think so. I think that's unique to her.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Our hand's gonna be a little on the slow side here. This is definitely a place where we'd much prefer attacking on evens. Okay, I'm playing Rune Weaver here. You know, it's possible that this deck wants some copies of Succession, because that's a card you can bank spell mana for and then like play Plaza, play Succession when you're attacking on 3s. It's also possible that card's just too low quality on average to be worth playing. Maybe I should open attacks here, because if they have Aftershock, they could Aftershock me.
Blessed by snow and stars.
The Valor spell could be okay. That's a little bit more playable than Succession, I think. Nah, I actually put the Reforged unit in here. This was a build around Astox. So the 3/1's very reasonable. I think the 3/1 gets better with Grand Plaza as well.
An auspicious season.
Go ahead and have her kill this, I think. Yeah, Valor is good with Riven Quick Attack. Yeah, maybe we'll fit some copies of the Valor spell in here after this game. Random Digit, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Happy New Year. I appreciate the support. Scout here also synergizes with Riven. So this card, in addition to being good with Riven, is also good with Grand Plaza, which is one of the reasons why I'm playing it. Yeah, honestly, I think Riven's Reforged support package is as simple as turning the 3-1 into a 3-2 and turning the 1-2 into a 2-1. Like that's literally all they have to do, and then those cards are probably fantastic.
Got your back. Swiftly. Grow free. Success is planting your mushroom right.
Sharp Sight's really good, chat. Sight's really good. Annie Yuza, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I mean, Draven midrange already has a bunch of cards that they want to play that do things similar to that, though. Why not heal Riven? Oh, that's a good thought, because she had the barrier so she wouldn't take damage. Because I missed it, is the answer. I didn't think about that as a line.
Even a fragment snuffs out lives.
Riven here, I think.
Protection strike.
Attack with these two. If they trade here or kill either of these, Radiant Guardian comes down with Lifesteal and Tough, which is good. Hoptam, thanks for the follow. And Ghost, welcome to the channel. Good morning, folks. Happy New Year indeed. Yeah, like this is fine, right? Like I wanted this to die. If they were gonna troll chant, they should have done it to this one though, right?
Oh, if mushrooms could talk. Oh, whoops, am I right? They grow up so fast.
If they have Sajani here, we're probably gonna get locked out of this game.
Only the strong survive. You own what you take.
I'm gonna put a Blade's Edge on her. So this way, if they hook with this, I get to kill her with Scorched Earth.
I'll stop you.
Redwick, thank you for the 38 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Give me around.
Well fought. Words linger in the air.
Okay, we're gonna get to forge another blade next turn, so that's nice. I assume that emote means they have another Sajani.
This'll take the chill off.
The power of the written word.
First win for me, daddy. That is correct, Fabricator.
A carved meat bigger than you.
Finally, peace.
We can dodge Sajani number 2. We can dodge the ball here. That's really what we're looking to fade at this point. I suppose this just kills us if they have some direct damage. I could be right to trade here and preserve my life total as much as possible. Like, even a Mystic Shot likely kills us with how many mushrooms we're putting into our deck.
My pretties.
Virtue guides me.
Once I stab papers, now faces. System upgrade.
Nah, we can't play around anything here. We're gonna put Blade of Exile on here and hope that we get to gain 6 next turn by opening attacks. Yeah. That's exactly one. Power this up and open attacks. Yeah, so there's 20 pup caps and 25 cards here. We're drawing 2 cards, so pretty likely to be dead.
Prime stand ready.
And like, if I take the different trade in combat there and lose the Captain Pharaon, my opponent puts 3 more puff caps into our deck there, so I don't think it really matters. I think the key reason we lost that game was I made the early play of Plaza, and again, with Plaza, I then didn't have a way to play to the board, and then my opponent killed my Plaza, so I gave up tempo early. That was then negated by the fact that they had Scorched Earth. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Fabricator. Yeah, I think the Bros and Mushrooms archetype in general is very good. And getting to play Aftershock is part of the reason, right? Okay, I want some of these. Crash City Sneak, thanks for the follow. Do we just give up Noxian Fervor here? Would I rather give up Fervor or single combat? Maybe it's just single combat, actually. The fact that Fervor is reach is really nice. And, like, these serve a similar purpose, right? Like, both of these hurt my unit to hurt my opponent. Let's try that for now. Yeah, Timo Sajani, in fact, I saw some people using the top 5 command. Timo Sajani was in my top 5 decks with cards from the new expansion. They got a number of really good upgrades. So if you're interested in playing with sweet decks that use cards from the latest set, be sure to check out that video on my Highlights YouTube channel. That channel posts a deck highlight video every single day of the week, and then occasionally also posts other short edited content like that one. So usually never more than 2 videos per day, generally just 1. Has Zoe Lux fallen out of favor for me? It wasn't on my list. I just didn't want to... Listen, I could have made a top 5 list that was 5 Zoe decks. I gave myself a limit of 1 Zoe deck for the list. This actually seems fine. Like, 1 drop, Bank Spell mana on 2, 3, 4. We're attacking on even, so like Riven with the Scout here is gonna get us Reforged tokens really quickly. This is not a card we're looking to see. Thanks, Quack. Yeah, and there are some gifted subs in there, but like Twitch gives me a lot of analytics, and like for example, I can see that like Prime subs and paid subs are also up slightly over the previous 30 days, even not counting gift subs. That's nice. Yay, data! Make a top 5 Zoe deck list too, please. Sure, that could be something fun to do down the line.
That I am superior
I also posted this on Twitter this morning, but December was the, so for people that are new to the channel, before I started doing Runeterra full-time in October, I had become a full-time Twitch content creator doing Magic the Gathering stuff, and December was actually the first month since I switched to doing primarily Runeterra that I actually gained followers on Twitch as opposed to losing them, as people that were only here for Magic content left. It was sweet to see. I assume that's a mix of more people coming in from the seasonal tournament and the fact that I got to cast that as well. Semagriff, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Speaking of new followers.
To the gun show.
Wonder if we'll see them attack here or not. I think if they attack, we sharp sight this and eat both their units. I still want to eat these two. And then this will survive, so we'll get to hook this next turn.
Better run.
Radiant Guardian, obviously the best draw on our deck at this point.
Alright, let's mess some folks
Also in an okay position to potentially just race here. We have a lot of damage output, especially the fact that we're pretty likely to reforge the blade next turn if they don't kill Ribbon. An anonymous subgifter. Happy New Year to whoever you are. Thanks for the support. Deal. Anytime the burn deck is using their burn on not my face, that feels like a huge win for me. Yeah, like this trade too, right? Like, look at here. I'm at 16, they're at 15. I'm ahead on board, and they have more cards in my hand.
2, 3, 4.
Definitely feels like a winning spot for us.
Swiftly.
I don't want to play Katarina here. I want more cards that play to the board and stay on board, I think.
Fuse his leg.
My shield is yours.
And like with this play, they don't have good attacks now, except with this.
Not for everyone.
So we're at a virtual 13 with these two. This lets me forge the blade this turn. I think that's worse than getting the scout going, though. We'll play the scout, we'll attack, we'll play this, we'll attack with everything. Oh, that's a good thought. Cat. I forgot that Cat gives me a blade when she comes down. Yeah, maybe I should have played Cat to murder the team. I think that's a good suggestion. I definitely missed that, but that was the thing that would happen.
Serve the greater good.
Yeah, you do in fact get a reforge on Ribbon when you attack with a scout. It is a synergy that this deck has. I don't know if I want to attack these into the Draven or not. I think I do. Hey, the roller dude, thanks for the sub gift. Good morning. So if they don't open attacks next turn, I get to play Cat that lets us murder Teemo.
Run while you can.
I think we're still in a good spot regardless, though. We can technically play Farron on our next attack, which is great.
My first big mission. Just gonna put this here.
I'll scout ahead.
Let's dance.
Oh, gosh. If Cat does this, we can play her and attack this turn, right? Sure, are they dead? I think they're dead.
Go.
Time to go.
Violence solves everything.
Violence solves everything. Calm down now, Cat.
Let the bloodshed begin.
Let the bloodshed begin. Couldn't they have used axe to kill Cat? Yeah, but then they couldn't have Noxian Fervored my face. And if they use an axe to kill Cat, that's an axe that's not pushing damage to my dome. Oh, sweet. Cat was useful without Plaza there, which was excellent. Yes, you do get to scout attack twice there as well. So scout simply reads the first time in any turn you attack with only scouts, you get an attack jumping back. So would have started by attacking with just the 3-1 there. Pretty great. Shyvana, a soul. I don't know, that Cat sounds good here to start. I'm going to keep my 1-2 curve. Plaza sounds lovely. A lot of variation of the Demacia Targan decks. Almost assuredly a Plaza deck on the other side as well. I'm playing 2 copies of Scorched Earth in this deck. It's possible that I want to play more than that. That's real good.
Shape the skies and mold the earth.
Mold the earth. Would I rather have this post Plaza or this post Plaza? I think I'd rather have this post Plaza. I think we just open attacks here so they can't Shyvana us this turn.
As foretold. Come hither, you beasts of glory. Her power is unimaginable even now. Let the bloodshed begin. It's just an egg. These hands know metal and magic.
Quick attack is good with Plaza here too, which is great. Rats.
It seems to me. Your death.
They could have a sharp side of their own here. Hush. Probably pretty far behind from this point, if I had to venture a guess. Nah, I was saving it for a bigger threat titan, but here we are.
Nowhere
So I think at this point I actually play the second Plaza out, because second Plaza means that Valor token can trade with Shyvana, and then I'm going up to 7 mana this turn, so I can play Radiant Guardian as a follow-up, which is nice. dead to a turn 8 Aesol.
Justice
Maybe Pharaon gets us out of that, since he'll come down as a 10-10, and then they're at 12, but even that's probably unlikely.
The heavens diminish without my attention. To the stars.
If you could have attacked and dealt 6 to their 7-7, how? I had an attack token.
An audience.
Oh, that's a good thought. I don't know if that's actually useful, but it's not a thought that I had.
got your back. Hi-ya! Even shattered hearts mend in time.
Alright, Ruben. Let's go. Who's got 2 thumbs and isn't afraid of anything? This guy right here. This play is bad against a lot, but I don't have any other plays, so he's got to hope they don't have any of the variety of things that they could have here.
Never again will we dragon fire.
Don't hush me, Daddy. Don't do it.
They come!
Alright, that block means no hush, right? We haven't won the game, we just haven't lost it yet, so... I mean, if this connects, that makes Daddy Pharaon a great top deck next turn.
Now they'll pay attention.
That's not bad either. That makes her a 12 attacker again next turn. Like, I'm not DOB.
I've given up chasing this one.
Oh, Obliterate! That'll be big. That'll do.
You cannot break what is already
Needed Daddy Pharaon that turn. Now we're dead. I mean, and to be fair, Daddy Pharaon would have beaten that, right? We had 13 mana and they were at 4. Like, if we'd have had a Pharaon in our top 13 cards there, we'd have killed them that turn. Close game, all things considered. Getting to play the Sky's Descent is a sweet upside to playing Shyvana as your second champion in that archetype. Mulligan these looking for Plaza. Still have a few draws in it potentially.
2, 3, 4.
This murders Teemo on 2 at least. They don't have a Mystic Shot. Happy to trade this for Teemo, I think, even if it is a little tempo negative. Hey, that's nice.
Armed and ready. Adventure starts with mushrooms.
Heart and blade, both broken.
Have a mushroom. Have three.
I've heard about you.
I think I'd rather try to kill Teemo this turn than play this and get an extra reforge.
My shield is yours. Steel is yours.
It could also have been right because we reforged this one right away to do this. Just because we could have given this quick attack. Quick attack's worse against a Troll Chancer and another Freeze though, which are both cards they're likely to be playing. It's also less good against something like Mystic Shot. Like with the barrier here, this kills Teemo through a Mystic Shot or Get Excited or something like that, which is nice. It does not beat Elixir though.
I've always been a fun guy.
What fragment is the best fragment in our deck? Probably Quick Attack. Quick Attack pairs really well with Plaza.
Armed and ready.
This is marginally worse than single combat would be here. This took one more damage and it cost us one more mana. Suppose I could barrier her here proactively, so that way we guaranteed get one more reforge. I like that. They could have also just Mystic Shotted her inside of combat though, so maybe it's right to just play the scout. If we roll a +2 attack fragment here, we can, well, I was gonna say we could challenge this, but that's not the case. Alright, opponent is spending their hand down aggressively here, I assume because they have this to gas back up with, but Scorcher's gonna deal with that, so we'll only get one extra card out of it. That's good for us. Huh? I think I like Valor into 2 attack, quick attack here.
No turning back now.
Level her and offer the treat, I think.
Won't look back.
Sir, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Good morning. Speaking of blizzard, if you live in the Midwest, especially Central Illinois this morning, stay safe if you have to go out of your house. Looked out my window this morning, it's just a giant sheet of ice. Trying to dodge Sejani here. Okay.
There they go.
Sejani to start's good for us.
All right, let's mess some folks up.
Hut, 2, 3, 4. I'll scout ahead.
Ah, quit your yapping.
Good lord, we have been massive. Like, we should expect 1 damage per card drawn, but like, that was 5 on 2 cards? That's so brutal.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Not a peddler.
I got ways to find me mushroom.
No going back.
See no weird, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I think I'm gonna fervor this so that way they don't get more mushrooms into my deck here. And then we'll give her quick attack and we'll smash here.
Pay debt.
If we can continue being lucky and dodging Sejani, we might have a shot here. The Captain Baron here might mean we can beat Sejani, but probably not with the amount of mushrooms that are in our deck. I guess we have some pump spells here too. Can we please just take 1 damage per card we draw? Please, for the love of God. We just take a statistically average amount of ugh.
For me?
Ugh, so they're gonna put 11 more in our deck? All right. Sweating Ezreal. Oh, and they get to attack here. Shit. Yeah, that's real good. All right, probably dead. We gotta not take 2 damage and 2 card draws with 33 pop caps. Yeah, I guess I should have thought about them having unit there and not deployed Baron and deployed more blockers. Yep. That matchup does not seem good, and like I guess that's kind of expected. The Frostbite decks have like always had really good Demacia matchups. Your deck tends to play Brittle Steels and Flash Freezes and stuff. Our ways to interact with their things are largely damage based. So the fact that they can wipe the attack off of our units is to be pretty expected, I think. We've had 2 really close games so far, but their Frostbites ultimate, their mushrooms end up getting us 1 turn before we have lethal every time. Yeah, I agree, Harlequin. We definitely were a little bit unlucky there too. Like we had multiple turns there where like we had 1 puff cap per card in our deck, and then we drew like 4+ puff caps off of 2 cards. So I don't think the matchup's unwinnable, but I think we're definitely behind in it. Little bit better beats I think we could have pushed through. Zoe, Diana, Iona. Ha. Probably something aggressive. I would guess a kind of elusive aggro. Do you get ladder points from instant concedes? You do not. The person conceding still loses ladder points, but the person on the other side didn't actually win a game, so you don't get anything. None of these are great. I was mulliganing for Plaza or Sharp Sight, neither of which we found. But I think that's fine. It discourages win trading. It took like 2 seconds of my time. I don't think you deserve ladder points for like 2 seconds of your opponent instant conceding. Allegiance, Invoke, Splashing, Deny. That's a good thought. I'm gonna go ahead and play out Brainsteel Protector here so I can Sharp Sight into block here next turn. Also lets me get a little bit of pressure going, which is nice. The notable downside to playing this turn is that if I sharp sight, I can't ribbon next turn, but it is what it is. Feel like there's a good chance they could counter my Blade's Edge, so I think playing Cat to try and fleeting kill this is a little ambitious. Okay, yeah, and Priestess would imply that they're going a little bit bigger, so I think the Invoke deck with Iona, Iona's Flash for Deny No Put Buy sounds pretty reasonable.
Alright, let's mess some folks up.
I suppose.
Believe or burn. Back heretic.
Getting the Hush used on this always feels like a fine exchange. You're like, well, I'm like a little sad I don't get another thing, but like all things considered as far as like blowouts are concerned, it's like super reasonable for us. Alright, Valor, let's go. This card was a good ad. This card's good at enabling Radiant Guardian in certain situations as well.
Steel is yours.
Clean board. I feel like clean board is okay for us, especially with this Captain Baron in hand. Could go either way though. If my opponent is playing the Invoke archetype, which seems likely, their deck has a lot of top end value in it.
Heart and blade, both broken.
Would you like to comment my 3-drop? That's really good. This is much worse for us than countering. Although their play there seems... Oh, they're playing around Sharp Sight. Like, they should probably gem after to heal it back up if they're playing around Sharp Sight.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Assume this is gonna trade here. Another Hush. Yes. Results. Deal Rito.
Oh yeah.
Are they playing like go get it? And like they want to pick this back up, or is that just a mistake? Feels like it's probably just a mistake.
Devotion through battle.
Deal.
No going back. This might hurt.
Oh, they were just continuing to play around Sharp Sight? Yeah, that's probably a reasonable thought. That's a thought. They could be a Monastery deck that picks this back up. That could be a reason to save this.
Comes and speaks to those who listen.
Alright, well, they're drawing an Ionia card next turn.
Believe or burn. Ha! They'll never know what killed me. Have faith.
I can't decide if Cat plus Baron is a combo or not, because this getting to attack every turn with this is pretty good, but this also uses my mana, so I can't play the Decimates. It's probably. I think I'm gonna go with it's a combo. Feels like a combo to me. I think I'm gonna Riven before I Cat, so that way the rally from Cat can reforge for me.
Gifts from the sky.
To serve the greater good.
Yeah, if they are splashing Notify and Deny, focusing on playing units here is good for that reason too.
Channel our power.
They won't pass.
No going.
Look at that good deck building, chat. Just the bestest deck building.
Not stray.
Deny me, daddy. It was awesome, Cody. Like, really good.
The cost of war. Each act of heresy is an act of passion. Let the bloodshed begin.
Man, Riven Cat is gas.
Cloaked in silver light. I know what I must do. No more hesitation.
We're two for two on Sweet Tech so far today. It's a very pale day. Diana needs some sunshine. Pota could use some sun. I'm gonna full mulligan here, looking for my Scorched Earths or my Plazas. Just like we drew it up, chat. Just like we drew it up. She does. She recalls as soon as she hits with her quick attack. It's real good.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
I think I'm gonna House Spider here. They'll attack, hook this. I'll Noxian Fervor the Misfortune. Hoping to dodge Ranger's Guile here. It seems like a fine trade for us. We traded 5 mana for 5 mana there. And then this turn I get to go Plaza into Blinding Assault. Omen Hawk's a real good hit off Double Trouble. They just traded a Sharp Sight for my Valor. Deal. exchange for us.
Nothing gets between me and my mark.
We're just supposed to bristles here. They probably just attack with everything.
Just like hunting thresher geese.
Just that, sure. And then they attack this in to get the second trigger on here, or do they just not attack the second time? They should have definitely just attacked everything there, right? I think we just play this for no value, for no lifesteal value, and kill the Quinn.
For the fallen. You're covered.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hoping to draw a card we can play next turn before these Pharaons.
Scouting ahead. We're not done yet.
Wow, again, surprised they didn't attack with this, so that way this could get leveled on their open attacks next turn. Looks like technically request granted, huh?
I've got your back.
Just like hunting thresher geese. Scouting ahead.
And punch!
Where valor goes, victory follows. Fly swiftly, kill swiftly.
The fact that we drew 2 Scorched Earths and 2 Barren here is really awkward. Like, if any of these cards were something else I could deploy to the board this turn, I feel like it'd be in a very good spot. But the fact that I just have no playable cards here on 7 mana is just huge. So Prime subscriptions become available at a specific hour on that day, depending on when you used it last time. And there's a small window where you're not subbed, but still have to wait. So if you check back later today, Hyde, your Prime sub should become available. So they have like riposte here then? They must, right? That's so fucking savage.
Stay on the target.
It's like, if we had this card last turn, we would have been fine. Yeah, we're just dead. That's so unfortunate. Hey, John. For the follow. Maybe this isn't supposed to be a Scorched Earth deck. Maybe we're just supposed to be more linear than that. I definitely had strong wrong half mid-range deck problems, huh? I've got Grand Plaza of my own and like Sharp Sights and stuff to be a touch interactive. Maybe I just want to cut these for something else that's proactive. Even just another 1 or 2 drop. Just like literally any playable card there would have been game winning there, even with their riposte and stuff, because we would have been able to buffer our life total a huge amount. Is even play something as simple as Legion Grenadier. I have a lot of 3 power 2 mana spells though. Yeah, I don't really want to play bad cards that are only good with Plaza. Hey, Nafar, thanks for the follow. I don't think there's any other 2s I really want to play. A lot of 3s as well. It's probably just a 2 mana spell. Honestly, we could just play something like Egghead Researcher. It's a card that's like an okay blocker early that generates just random bombs sometimes. Nah, Battlecaster's a pretty individually low power card, and outside of House Spider, our deck doesn't really go particularly wide. Keep the Reweaver for guaranteed turn 2 play. Alright, Egghead, let's see how you do. This is a Frostbite deck, so this is probably a bad matchup for us, I imagine. They're built a little bit differently than the PNZ Frostbite deck, though, so we'll see if it works out to be the same true in practice. Opponent's got all pretty cards yet.
These hands know metal and magic.
I need just a moment.
I would love to trade
I'll
2
cut
drops
them
with you.
apart. Face me.
Oh.
Alright, let's miss some
Deadly
food.
Pig.
Time to get around here. I suppose. My life for Avarosa.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
Sure. It's a decent draw.
Your mother will unite us all.
My shield is yours.
For glory, you're mine.
I think we want to hold this until they play an Ash down the line. They haven't frostbitten that many things yet. I think we go Tracker into Egghead, and then we'll Brightsteel Protector this next turn to get in.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
That's a decent pickup too.
Let the bloodshed begin.
This lets us Blades Edge that, which is nice.
Winter, take you.
Got your back.
Gotcha.
Wide here nicely.
Over there.
The YouTuber speaks in a normal voice. I guess.
It's just an mimic.
It's a good pickup. Vicious Fish. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
With a little time, I'll have a break.
It's not terrible.
I need just a moment.
So I think we play this.
It's absolutely stellar.
Face
This is
me.
gonna kill Cat, I assume. Yeah. Reckoning incoming. I don't think I can play around Reckoning, so I'm just not gonna worry about it.
Not the egg.
Block this here, so that way this trades into this next turn.
My nose.
You know, I'll end this. Out of my way.
think I Valor here to pull this out of the way, because I want to trade into this as well. I'm gonna give this 2 extra attack. Yeah, they're conceding. Our daddy Pharaon just had more Nexus life behind it. Yeah, the Valor edition was very good. Also worth noting that Egghead Researcher being a proactive card was much better than Scorched Earth would have been there, right? My initial inclusion of Scorched Earth was probably off base, and our deck's just a little bit more proactive than that card wants to be. Without having cheap enablers like Ember Maiden, like the Vlad Riven deck has. What deck did I use to rank up to Platinum? I don't know. We play a ton of things on stream, which is why we usually live in Platinum or Diamond. I pretty much just play whatever viewers send in, because you can rank up with almost anything in Runeterra. Usually by the end of the season, we end up in Diamond, occasionally Masters. Happy New Year's, Jeff. Although next month is my 2-year anniversary, which is far more important. Hope all is well for you and your family. It is, Moldylocks. Thanks for keeping me around. I wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you. Lee Sin Zoe. This doesn't seem very good. I'll look for my Plaza, I think, or Sharp Sights to block Zoe. Caleb D. Cable D? That's Cable D, not Caleb. Cable D. Thanks for the follow.
We each hold a world within.
Stuck on exactly gold 1. I would encourage you to worry less about your exact rank and just play decks that you enjoy, and the rank will come.
Speak, stars. Speak, I say.
For the lost.
My channel's not a particularly great channel for try-hard advice. We're pretty casual here. We play games for fun. Spent a lot of time doing competitive focused card gaming, and playing for fun is definitely my more enjoyable focus. Is this a cat turn? Probably not. I'm not really ready to start. This is going to be impossible to race, though.
I'm something of an aspiring trichologist.
No more hesitation.
Cat for fleeting to kill the Mentroid can buff something seemed like a nice line, but that doesn't do that for Smith. After I play Cat, my opponent gets priority back and then attacks right away, just like they attacked right away after I played Egghead Researcher. So you're right. If I could have killed this before it got to buff something, that would be good, but that's not how Runeterra works. Am I using this to enable Radiant Guardian? think so. Wolf OSRS, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I suppose I could +2 attack this and try and eat the Sparklefly. That's probably the line. Get concussive bombed into last week. I mean, just to like talk about normal card game discourse, like the comments going on in chat talking about whether or not Sparklefly would be broken or not. Like, I think it's like kind of toxic and silly how people have to like how this card has to just be bad or broken and not just be playable. The idea that there's not this middle ground and things are busted or unplayable, like, I think it's very, very silly. Olympic Trans, thanks for the follow. I think Dark Confidant would be a good card in Runeterra. No, I think it would be very bad, in fact, if you, like, verbatim put Dark Confidant into this game.
You will be scoured from
This
this
attack's
land.
pretty free, right? They can put a damage on here with this, but then I go to 20. I think getting 1 damage on here to gain 3 is a good exchange for me. In Runeterra, because you draw twice as many cards as Magic and there's no lands in your decks, you generally don't need extra cards, and because you guaranteed gain a resource every turn in Runeterra, the curve on your deck tends to be much higher than in Magic decks. So that combination of things, that type of effect, very bad. I mean, that's not what's going on at all in chat, Wylar. People were saying...
With my spirit,
Never mind.
my
I'm
faith.
just not gonna worry about it. Yeah. Usually the way people use broken is to imply that a card needs to be balance adjusted, which is rarely the case in my experience. Our lack of sharp sights drawn this game's been a little sad. Plaza will help us run down some stuff though, at least. So that's nice.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Perfect.
No going back.
And then the tough part about this is that once we beat the Sparklefly sub-game, our opponent is going to just play Lee Sin and combo kill us. Riven's blades are assuredly broken. That's true. That's true. These are objectively broken.
Witness the play.
Kind of annoying. I was hoping to get another attack in this turn. And now my mana just doesn't happen efficiently. Maybe I should have just Stalking Broodmother this turn as a 7-drop. I guess I could technically play this other cat and then double Blades Edge this.
There's still much to answer for. Never.
Take that. Galato, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
This might hurt.
What is gained when you return malevolence?
Okay, I think Riven's a more than reasonable card as standard. We played a couple of good Riven decks yesterday. This deck's been fine. Nothing amazing, but fine. We played Riven Ash has definitely been the most competitive Riven deck we've played to date. That was the highlight video on my YouTube highlights channel this morning. Then what was the other Riven deck we played yesterday? We played Riven 5, was also super reasonable. And this is what I was talking about, you know, we just kind of like tread water here against decisions my opponent can be making, and then they play Lee Sin and combo kill us, and none of our choices really mattered. Like, the game was super interesting, and then this card happened. Show me Zenith Blade. Happy New Year, Milo.
No more hesitation.
Our enemies cannot hide. My lands need me. Center your spirit.
We're not getting comboed. What? My opponent's deck broken. It doesn't have Zenith Blade.
Hold back the darkness.
Either would be fine, Lacey. Dragon's Rage should remove this from combat, or it shouldn't have a barrier. There's a few Zoe champion combinations that I've built and played a bit off stream that we haven't played on stream yet, obviously.
I'm not done.
And I'd be happy to play some with on stream. This Stalking Broodmother might let us kill Lee Sin next turn. Because this gets a scout attack twice. There is a Zoe Nocturne deck in my deck editor. among other things. I mean, Baron's fine here. Baron's gonna take them down from 20 fairly quickly, which is nice. What spells have I played so far this game? Oh, is this gonna Sharp Sight? Sharp Sight's the only one I've played, right? Victor can reduce the cost of parent spells. We played that on stream before. That's real sweet. Wow, I don't have the plus attack blade. We already played it. Shit. I thought one of these was plus attack. We were gonna be okay. That's unfortunate. I guess we just do this, and then I'm gonna give this quick attack. And then we're just hoping to not get combo killed again next turn. If we can dodge getting combo killed again next turn, we're actually in a pretty okay spot. But if they peel a Zenith Blade, then have a second spell, we're gonna die.
To underestimate you.
Like Zenith Blade Pale Cascade kills us here. For those that aren't familiar, when Lee Sin, okay, that means they can't give him barrier. If this isn't a spell, we're actually in a very good spot because our opponent's very unlucky. And this is why the Lee Sin deck kind of feels awkward to play against, because like I don't feel like I made good, meaningful choices this game. I feel like I just got incredibly lucky. So I don't feel like there was like a lot of back and forth, interesting bobbing and weaving. I feel like my opponent just bricked off, and I'm fortunate that they bricked off. I think we're just playing Yes Lanes here, right? At least one to start.
Go, floaty crystals.
John, thank you for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, I think... I guess this is gonna get popped inside of combat next turn anyway, so I might as well let them pop it now. It's like if I'm not breaking this inside of combat, I'm oh, none of my things died here, technically. That's fine, I think I still want to play this.
Justice will be served.
So I'm gonna play a couple of spells here, so that way they get a Dragon Link next turn.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Oh, I didn't have anything die, so this actually isn't the extra big. It doesn't matter. What if I attack with everything and hook? What if we give this Overwhelm? And then attack with all of these, hooking the Dragonling last. This means they have to have this be a faster burst speed spell to give Lee a barrier here. I think I'm into that. This also doesn't give them an opportunity.
Conflict is all in the mind.
I should probably just start conceding the Lee Sin matchups. They're just not fun. Oh, we lost the game of Go Fish.
Act free of doubt.
The dragon binds us.
Oh, I don't have enough mana to double decimate here. I think that was still right to give this overwhelm. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Burns on.
If they have Zenith Blade, can they kill me from 20? Zenith Blade makes this a 7, 8, 9. So they need one other thing with the Zenith Blade to kill me from 20. 19, whatever you want to call it. I assume that means we're about to get combo killed. That's true. If they Zenith Blade, I can act before they attack. They have to have deny as well. Chat must be new here. Go Fish. Yeah, see, chat must be new here. So now they go Zenith Blade, Gem, and they kill us from 20. Because that's how this works. Are they gonna spice it up? Nope.
Strike first. Prepare yourself.
Alright, we're gonna auto-concede the Lee Sin for the rest of the day. We're not playing Victor. Victor said just Frostbites. Yeah, if we don't have Frostbites or Hushes, I'm just not gonna play against Lee Sin anymore on stream. I don't think the deck's too strong, but I think it's super toxic. I think there are a number of decks that have good win rates against it, but if your deck's not in those specific subset of decks, it just doesn't feel worth playing. Riven Vlad. I'm gonna keep Plaza, mulligan the rest, looking for a Valor to pair with this. We're attacking on even, so Plaza on their 3 into Grizzle Ranger on our 4 is good.
I learned my scars. I'll try anyone.
If they're playing something similar to the Vlad configuration I've been plugging, they'll have 3 copies of Scorched Earth, so there is a chance that this doesn't work. Which could be a reason to play a 2-drop on 2, honestly. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like, play the Rune Weaver last turn so we can block this when it attacks. Deal.
Go down, will you? Here we go.
The way Lee Sin is currently designed, Wylar, with the barrier, let me articulate clearly why the Lee Sin deck is toxic. The best thing about Runeterra is its combat. So powerful things that can kill you from 0 to 20 that you can't interact with meaningfully via combat are really bad for the game, in my opinion. They're a problem. I think I'm gonna sharp sight this so we mark extra damage on here, and then I'll use this post and our second attack to kill the Crimson Disciple. So you can't have it both ways. If you want something to be able to have a really powerful combo kill, you need to be able to interact with it via the most common avenue we have to interact in the game, which is combat damage.
Oh, this hurts.
And the fact that the built-in barrier makes that not a possibility for him means that he's both super linear and can kill you out of nowhere, and you don't have a way to offer counterplay in most regions.
Destruction feeds my fire.
Leo.
Ask me about Draconitis, may have an answer.
Delish.
And like, for the record, I don't think the solution is...
How you doing?
I don't think the solution is print more cards like Hush and Frostbite into other regions. I think the appropriate solution is just adjust the one thing that's tuned in a way that kind of sucks. I think, in general, the fact that combat is the key interactive point of Runeterra is very, very good for the game.
Got your back.
I don't think I want to attack into her.
Protect and strike. Words of power linger in the air.
That's an interesting draw. Play this turn. Good do. Just push some damage. It could be wrong to attack into here as well.
Another fine star.
If they have the 1/2, if they have Basilisk here, there's a chance this just murders us. Basilisk is gonna give this 16 attack, puts her to 23. I guess we get to play this to block. Well, the math.
Cannot be broken.
I think we're dead, right? Because this has Overwhelm as well.
Will be served.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have attacked into this last turn. I guess if I don't attack into this, it's -4. It's at 19. We're still kind of dead, right?
This here.
Yeah, I'm actually exactly dead. We can go to 0. Yeah, opponent's deck is real good. The opponent's archetype is one of the 5 decks that I highlighted in my top 5 decks video on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen Vlad Ribbon before, I think it's very, very good. It's the archetype our last opponent was playing there. And if you haven't seen Vlad Ribbon before, it means you haven't checked out my other channels. You should definitely do that, because they're great. Missing a lot of sweet Runeterra decks by not checking out on those. As far as this deck goes, I don't know. I honestly, and I know that this runs counter to a lot of the other feedback I've heard from other people, but the more I play with Grand Plaza in more shells, the more whelmed by it I become. Just like having to take turn 3 off and invest 3 mana into a card that doesn't play to the board is a very real cost in this game. And this deck was fine. We won some games, we lost some games, but it didn't feel like it was doing anything super overtly powerful. Katarina was cute in some instances. She had some nice synergy with Riven and helping us rally and generate more Blade to Exile tokens, but overall, outside of like Pharaon at our top end, I didn't feel like our deck had enough meaningful interaction in it, and I didn't feel like we were appropriately linear enough either. So we we're kind of middling in both directions. How does that same logic apply to Scargrounds, or is it different because Scargrounds is affecting units that are on the... I mean, Scargrounds also is a card that is a 3-mana card that doesn't impact the board. You're correct. That is accurate. It is that's why, and that's the downside to these landmarks. They offer powerful effects, but they're a card you have to invest resources into and to bench spot for something that doesn't immediately impact it. Plaza is better with units that generate units immediately to offset the tempo loss. Yeah, to a degree, J Ray. But like even then, like we're doing that to a degree, right? Like, and that doesn't even immediately offset the tempo loss because you still like spending 3 mana to give this +1/+1 does not offset the tempo immediately. Yeah, things like Double Trouble, for instance, in the Scouts list that's been leveraging Plaza well, like that's fine. But like even in the Scouts deck, like the Scouts deck is still at its best when it has Misfortune as opposed to Plaza, right? Plaza is just like this secondary thing that's like not as good as Misfortune, but it like still makes the rest of the crappy cards in that deck marginally good enough that like it's like kind of Misfortunes 4 through 6, but still not really. It's like at least a second payoff, even if it's not immediately the best one. Yeah, and that even in the like the bigger Demacia decks, like we played Invoke Control. We played Invoke Control yesterday with Plaza as the only splash, and honestly, I think I would have preferred single combat in a lot of instances in that deck yesterday. Just again, like taking 3 mana off. I feel like Plaza is a card where people remember the blowout turns against them, and they don't remember the games where their opponent paid 3 mana and just died. At any rate, this deck felt functional, but it also didn't feel like it was particularly powerful, and I don't think it's one that I would revisit.